Hey, welcome to this training video. In this training video, we are going to take a look at the various puzzle modules that are available. And some of these may be available in your account. Some of these may not be available on your account. And that is primarily because of the access levels that you have based on your purchases. So as you can see, I'm in the interface for Sudoku puzzles, and you would see that there are three blocks here, three white blocks. The blocks on the left that you see primarily are the ones where you can create standard Sudoku puzzles. What I mean by standard Sudoku puzzles is that you would have numbers inside of it, okay? And then there are these three blocks which consist of Sudoku puzzles which are a little different from the norm, because these are the ones that will allow you a ton of flexibility to upload your own images and create highly difficult or very difficult Sudoku puzzles that you can then publish on Amazon KDP to make a profit. Now, there are not a lot of players in the market who do this. That is primarily because creating this is not easy at all. It's an Herculean task. As such, creating a Sudoku puzzle is a computationally intensive task. It is just not feasible manually, no matter what kind of graphic skills you have. And then to top it up with images and icons, it is actually a very difficult task to accomplish, which is why you will see that not a lot of people do this in the first place. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, in this particular video, in order to give you an introduction to the various types of puzzles, I'll insert each of these puzzles into the page and show you what they stand for. Probably I'll talk to you about a little bit about that, and that would set the tone for the rest of the training videos. Okay, so let me make this 25. I've got one page on my canvas right now. By the way, this is the zoom feature where you can zoom in or zoom out of the screen depending on what kind of clarity you want on the screen, what is visible to you, and what is it that you're comfortable with. So for the purpose of demonstrations, I prefer to use 25 because that way you can see what is going on the screen. Now let us click over here, and when you click here, you would see that the first puzzle has been inserted, right? Now, you might have thought that this is a randomly generated puzzle. The answer is, this is actually a placeholder puzzle. Whenever you click on this, you must not use that puzzle in your book, because the reason is this. Take a look at this one here, 241, right? So let me just go ahead and delete this. Okay, let me insert it again. You would see 214, right? Let me delete it. Let's insert. Okay, so I think it's been changed where it is kind of creating a separate puzzle every single time. But as a best practice and as a word of caution, please do not use the first puzzle that you insert. Rather, always make sure that you regenerate it. After you have done it once, it doesn't really matter, because unique puzzles will be generated on the fly. And the good part is, these are not being fetched from any database. These are created on the fly, right at that very moment when you're creating them. So you can be rest assured that your content is there is an infinitesimally small chance of it being similar to somebody else's exact puzzle book, right? So now that we have inserted this, all we did is clicked over here, and that is all that was needed to insert it. Now, if you want to drag and drop this, you can always do this, right? You can drag and drop this. There are a lot of customization features that we'll talk about in one of the later videos, and these customization features are pretty similar for all of these elements. Okay, now we will click over here, and that inserts a 6 by 6 grid. Okay, a 6 by 6 grid. So this is a 6 by 6 Sudoku puzzle. Now we will insert another page, and we will insert a 9 by 9 grid. So this 9 by 9 Sudoku puzzle is what we have on page number 3. Now you can drag and drop it, you can make it larger, you can make it smaller, whatever catches your fancy you can do as far as these puzzles are concerned, because they come in a very flexible layout format that is pretty useful for you. Now this one here is a 4 by 4 grid, but instead of the standard puzzle, we've got icons here, right? Instead of the standard puzzle, we've got icons here, and you can see these icons are the standard icons that load up. You must not use them. Rather, what you should do is, you should regenerate it once, and then probably upload your own icons or fetch icons from the O2O3 database that you may have access to, right? So this is 4 by 4. Let's go ahead and insert the 6 by 6 grid. Similar to the standard puzzles, we have got 6 by 6 grid for the image based puzzles as well. and then at the end of it all, you would have access to the 9 by 9 grid where images are available for you, right? So this is how it looks, right? So this is the standard setup that we have, and this is how you can work with them. So these are the various opportunities that are available for you to create some high quality puzzle books. We will explore deep dive into the details of it, like the nuances of it. We'll understand how you can customize them to get the best effect and probably sell a ton of your Sudoku books. In the next video, I'll see you with another, we will probably look into the customization options, and then from there on, we will carry on with exploring the various features that are available as a part of this application. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Hey, welcome to this training video. In this video, we will take a look at the customization options that we have for the puzzles that you can use to create your KDP books, right? Now, one of the things that you might have realized if you've been associated with us for some time is that we believe in providing solutions that are flexible, that are truly innovative in nature, because we think there should be a lot of space for your creativity to shine, and the book that you create using our apps is not because of the quality apps that you have access to from us, but because of the way you think and because of the clarity and creativity that you bring to table when creating those. So there's a lot more credit that goes to you than to the applications. In our eyes, the applications that we create, even though they are leading in the market, they are enablers. They are just enablers and nothing more than that, right? So instead of giving you cookie cutter solutions, we always try to bring in a lot of value to the table by giving you ability to optimize or to customize your content, okay? And that is exactly what we'll be able to do with this Sudoku Puzzles Generator application. So for the purpose of demonstration, what I'm doing is I'm taking a 9 by 9 grid, and whatever I show you, the features that I show you here will be exactly same for the rest of the modules that we have here, okay? So when you click on this puzzle, you would see that the middle navigation section opens up, and this is where you will be able to do bulk of the customization work for your puzzles, okay? Now, how do you know that I've selected this? Well, when you hover away from the puzzle, if you see that the blue border is still sticking around, you've got 4 dots at the corner, that essentially means that the puzzle has been selected. And the way you select it is by hovering over it. When you hover over the puzzle, you will see a blue line, blue border. And if you click on that area, like just a left click of your mouse, it will be selected, okay? And then this particular middle navigation section will open up, okay? Now that we have it, let us take a look at the options that are available to us as far as customization is concerned. Now this is the difficulty barometer. So what I'm going to do is drag this thing here and leave it at that. If you see, the number of occurrences, the number of boxes in which the numbers actually show up increases. When that happens, the difficulty level of the puzzle decreases, because now there are lesser number of puzzles to be solved, or lesser number of boxes to be solved, and this gives an easy starting point to users, okay? So similarly, as you go on increasing the difficulty, you would see the number of occurrences or the number of boxes in which the numbers show actually reduces. And when you make it difficult, like when you go ahead and make it difficult, you would see that the frequency at which the numbers occur, or the number of occurrences of or the number of boxes in which the numbers show up is pretty less, okay? So that is how you would be able to control the difficulty level of each puzzle. Now the cell size here is representative of the size of these individual square boxes that you see. Now if you see here, this is a 9 by 9 grid where we have 9 rows and 9 columns, and every intersection is a small box. That box's size is what is controlled by the cell size. So if you make this say 250, you would see that the box size would increase, okay? If you make this 175 again, you would see that the box size would decrease. You can make the same thing happen by dragging and dropping it, and when you drag and drop it, you would see that the cell size also changes. So There is a visual way of doing things and there is a number related way of doing things so that you can have the exact control over the cell size. Now some of you have asked for introducing a number for the difficulty level. That is a comment that we have received from the beta group. We will work on that. We will get you something, but then again, you really don't need to have that, because primarily the ability to be able to clone your pages takes care of that. So we would not recommend that you go ahead and format in multiple pages when you are creating a 100-page book. Rather, format just one page and then replicate it or kind of clone it to maintain pixel perfect correctness as far as the dimensions of the puzzles are concerned. Okay, font scale is a parameter that influences the font size that you have in here. So if you want to increase the font size to make it look bigger, this is what you can do. This is how font scale works. Stroke width is something that you can use to change the thickness of the lines that you see. So do you see now we have a thicker line, we have thicker lines there. So now if I take it back to 4, you would see that the thickness of the lines would reduce. Stroke color can be changed. Now this is not something a lot of you would be using for your interiors, but oftentimes you might need this for printables if you're doing printables or if you're trying to use it for your covers and so on, right? So that's what the stroke color does. Now please note that these training videos, I'm not getting into the funnel or the funnel features, right? So depending on, so there could be chances that you are not seeing the stroke color in your dashboard. That is primarily because you do not have OTO1, because this particular feature is associated with OTO1. So anybody who doesn't have OTO1 will not be able to see it. So I'm not going to get into that segregation right now, because this is supposed to be a training content video. So it doesn't really matter what funnel you are in. You can always view this and see what are the total features that are available and what is it that you can probably take advantage of. Okay, text Y offset. Now this is one of the parameters that you might not use a lot. Okay, what this does is this defines the distance of the number from the borders. So let's say I make this 10. Observe what happens here. Okay, do you see that the numbers shifted towards the bottom? The distance between the top line and the number increased the moment I did a 10 here. So if I do a 30 here, it will be much more conspicuous and you'll be able to see what is going on. Do you see this? Right? Now similarly, if we do a minus 30, it will move in the opposite direction. Now your question might be, Niranjan, why would we need this in the first place? Well, there are certain areas when certain situations when this kind of a feature would become very important, and that particular scenario a scenario that I can think of is when you would want to have, say, some area that is available for the user to do a little bit of rough work. Let's say they are using a pencil and they are writing something here. So instead of writing the entire number, they would just put the number here, do the calculations, come back, erase it, and then kind of put the entire number in. So there are use cases where it is needed. As I said, most of you would not need it, so let's not worry about it. The other thing that is there is show solution option. When you work on the show solution option, this gives you the solution on the page itself, right? This is not the end of the book solutions you're talking about. This is more of a visual entity that gives you the solutions right on the page for you to see what is going on, okay? And if you want, you can play around with the text color as well of the solution so that you know what is going on and how it is supposed to be resolved, correct? So this is designed in a way that you can do a quick check if you want to make sure if all of the rules of Sudoku are being obeyed, right? So I'll create a different video. We have a different training video where we talk about the typical rules of Sudoku. So you can do your own research and understand more about the niche. When you are getting into a niche, it's a good idea. It's a great idea to know more about it, to know the nuances, because that's what will compel you to step into the shoes of your customer, understand the requirements that much better, and give them a solution that they can't say no to, right? That's how you grow a brand and you grow a loyal following, right? So this is how you would go about customizing the puzzles. This is true for every single puzzle that we have there, including the image-based puzzles as well. Okay, so these are certain things that we have got as far as customization is concerned. I'll see you in another video where we will discuss or share some other cool aspects of this application that you just bought. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.